Hello, boys and girls. I hope that this video finds you and your family well and safe. And just know that I miss you so much. I miss our talks. I miss our laughs and dances and all of that in class. But I'm thankful that we can still have this opportunity to have just a little bit of class time. And so today, I'm going to be reading a story from Common Lit, and Miss Whitehead discussed last week how to access that on the hcboe.net webpage. So make sure that you get access to those materials, and let's get started. So we're going to read Earth Day Birthday by Jody Jensen Schaffer. Jody Jensen Schaffer is the author of over 27 books of fiction and nonfiction for children. In this short story, a girl celebrates her birthday on Earth Day. As you read, take notes on how April feels about celebrating Earth Day on her birthday. So right there, just knowing how the author has kind of prefaced this story, I'm wondering, is this going to be fiction or do you think it might be nonfiction? Let's read and find out. I just want a normal birthday party, April told Bailey as they walked home from school. Bailey knew what April meant. April's parents loved the environment, and because April happened to be born on Earth Day, all her parties had an Earth Day theme. Remember when you turned 7? Bailey said. How could I forget the throw-out blowout, said April. We helped out at the garage sale and donated the money to charity. And when you turned 8, it was a tree spree, finished April. We planted maples. Last year, we all collected newspapers to recycle, said Bailey. The print sprint, April groaned. Bailey giggled. I thought it was fun. Later that night, as April loaded the dishwasher, she said, I'd like to plan my own party this year. Sure, said Mom. We could have a compost carnival. Great idea, said Dad. April cleared her throat. I'd like to go to Maze Craze instead. Really? Said Dad, surprised. I guess we could do that, said Mom. April couldn't wait for her birthday. She and her friends would have so much fun, and they wouldn't have to think one bit about the earth. At school the next day, April told her friends, I'm having my birthday party at Maze Craze. You are, said Josie, but we always do something earthy on your birthday. Remember that salamander we found 2 years ago, said Tyler. Yeah, said April. This year, we're not even going outside. Oh, Tyler said. The following weekend, everyone gathered in the parking lot outside of Maze Craze. Thanks for coming, said April. I've been so excited about my party. No shovels, no collecting recyclables, nothing earthy about it. She shifted her feet. Then I got here this morning and saw this parking lot. April's friends glanced around. Plastic bottles bounced across the cement. Newspapers and fast food sacks clogged the storm drain. Shopping bags rustled in the trees. Even though I wanted a non-Earth Day birthday, I couldn't have fun knowing this mess was out here. Can we pick up the garbage in the parking lot first, then go through the maze? Of course, said her friends. April's parents grabbed some gloves and trash bags from the trunk of their car. The kids fanned out across the parking lot while their parents watched for traffic. Before long, they had filled 3 bags with bottles, cans, and paper to recycle. April looked at the bags and smiled. It felt good to do something for the earth, and with everyone pitching in, it didn't take long. Happy Earth Day, everyone, said April. Now I'm ready for Maze Craze. Happy birthday, April, shouted her friends. Now, if you'll notice when you're reading this text, boys and girls, that there are numbers beside of some of these words. And your first word that has a number beside of it is Earth Day. And so a lot of times in texts like this is a text feature, you can look at that number and come down to the bottom, and it will tell you, based on that number, what the definition of that word or words is. And so Earth Day is celebrated on April 22nd, and it is a day to show one's support for the protection of the environment. Do any of you boys and girls have a birthday on April 22nd? As a matter of fact, let me check it's tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow is Earth Day. So very cool. And so happy birthday if any of you have a birthday like April did tomorrow. Number 2, the second one is compost. And so we want to know what compost means. It means decaying plant material such as leaves, grass, and vegetable peels used to help living plants grow. Okay. And then if we go to that second page back there, the third one is right here. The kids fanned out. Okay. And fanned out means to move in different directions. Okay, boys and girls, now we're going to look at these text-dependent questions and discuss the right answer and how to get to that. So for part A, well, first of all, let's read the directions. For the following questions, choose the best answer or respond in complete sentences. So for number 1, part A, which sentence best describes the theme of the story? Now, boys and girls, we kind of talked about theme before we had to let out for school for a little while. And so the theme is oftentimes like the lesson or something that you can learn, not necessarily specific to the text. Remember, it's a very general thing. You want to back out. You don't want to say April learned such and such. While that might be true, you want to think about what is something that you can take from this story and apply it to your life. So let's think about this. While it's not fun to take care of the earth, it is necessary. B, it feels good to do important things like take care of the earth. C, sharing your birthday with someone else can be difficult. Or D, Earth Day is a holiday that people should celebrate every day. Now, boys and girls, when I read this, I automatically look at C, sharing your birthday with someone else can be difficult. This text does not speak anything about someone sharing a birthday with someone else. So I don't think that's a good answer. So we can kind of eliminate C. Earth Day is a holiday that people should celebrate every day. While that might be true, this text doesn't really tell us that it should be celebrated every day. While it's not fun to take care of the earth, it is necessary. Okay, now let's think about how April might have felt during the story. She probably felt like her birthday didn't mean anything. How would you feel if your birthday, on your birthday, your party had to be themed about helping something or helping the environment instead of you? We know we like to think of our birthdays as it's all about us, and while that may be true, this story kind of teaches us a little different take on that. And so I think they kind of had fun there on the end. I think the friends of April were very shocked that she wasn't going to even have a birthday party around Earth. So I don't think this is a good answer because they had fun there on the end. But it feels good to do important things like take care of the earth. I do believe that April and her family and friends felt really good after they took care of the earth. So that would be our theme. Which detail from the text best supports the answer to part A? April's parents loved the environment, and because April happened to be born on Earth Day, all her parties had an Earth Day theme. Does that really reflect and tell us more about it feels good to do important things like take care of the earth? Not really. April couldn't wait for her birthday. She and her friends would have so much fun, and they wouldn't have to think one bit about the earth. Does that reflect information about that? Not really. Thanks for coming, said April. I've been so excited about my party. No shovels, no collecting recyclables, nothing earthy about it. Does that support this? No. Even though I wanted a non-earth birthday, I couldn't have fun knowing this mess was out here. Does that support her taking care of the earth? She felt good. She felt proud of herself for learning that lesson. All right. Which of the following best explains why April's earlier birthdays involved helping the environment? April wanted her birthday parties to be more exciting than all of her friends' parties. April's parents cared more about the environment than April having fun. April's parents cared about the earth and wanted April to care about it as well. Or April wanted to show her friends that taking care of the earth can be fun. So I don't think, so why did her earlier birthdays involve helping the environment? I don't think she wanted them to be exciting because I don't think she really liked it at first. April's parents cared more about the environment. No, they cared about April and her feelings because that's why they decided, okay, we can do a birthday party at Maze Craze instead of doing one about Earth. April's parents cared about the Earth and wanted April to care about it as well. Or April wanted to show her friends that taking care of the Earth can be fun. April really wasn't, like we said earlier, she didn't really like having those Earth-themed birthdays. And so I don't think this is a good answer either. But I do think April's parents cared about the Earth. So therefore, they wanted April to care about it as well. They were trying to teach her. And finally, how do April's friends respond when she tells them they won't be doing something earthy for her birthday? They are surprised that April isn't having a party with an Earth Day theme. They are relieved that they won't have to go outside for April's birthday. They are excited to go to the Maze Craze rather than having to help the Earth. Or they are disappointed in April for not wanting to spend time helping the Earth. So I don't think they were disappointed in April. They might have been a little disappointed that they didn't get to, but they weren't disappointed in her. So we can mark that one out. They are excited to go to the Maze Craze rather than having to help the Earth. Well, if we refer back to the text and we think about how her friends felt, we can see that a lot of her friends, see, Josie said, "You are? But we always do something earthy on your birthday." And Tyler reminded her about a salamander. And Tyler was a little surprised as well. And so I don't think that they were quite excited and that they didn't want to help Earth. I think they wanted to help Earth. I don't think that they were relieved for wanting to go out, for not being able to go outside for her birthday. Because, again, they were excited that she normally has an earthy birthday and were a little shocked that she wasn't. So I think our best answer is that they're surprised that she's not having a Earth Day theme for her birthday party. She's had an Earth Day birthday theme all this time. Why would she change it now? They're used to it the other way. So, boys and girls, I think these are our best answers, and I've discussed how we can get to those answers. Now that we know that, I want you to look at this writing prompt. It says, why is it important to the story that April decides to clean up the parking lot before going to Maze Craze? Now, I want you to think about how April's feelings, how she was feeling at the beginning of the story, and I want you to think about how she's feeling when she sees the mess. And I want you to think about the lesson that was learned, okay? And as you think about those things, I think you can come up with a few sentences that would explain why that's important to the story. Okay, why would the author even include that part? Okay, and so we can use a sentence stem like, is it cleaning up the parking lot before going into Maze Craze was important to the story because April learned blank. So use that sentence stem, boys and girls, to formulate 2 or 3 sentences here to get a short paragraph to answer this essay question. Okay, and so there are some discussion questions here as well. And so I'm going to ask you, and I want you to think about your answer, okay? And I'm going to share a little bit about what I remember specifically when I was in 3rd grade, just like you are now, and what we did on Earth Day. So number 1, how have you celebrated Earth Day in the past? What will you do for the environment next Earth Day? Well, tomorrow is Earth Day. So let's think about Earth Day and what that means. And so when we refer back to the text, it tells us that it's celebrated on April 22nd, and it's a day to show our support for the protection of the environment. And so what does the word protection mean? Maybe you don't know what protection means. So when you might ride your bike, I know Braxton's been riding his bike a lot lately, and there is a little sticker on his bike that says, please remember to wear a helmet. Now, why would you wear a helmet to ride a bike? I hope that you say, to protect my head, because if you fall, you don't want to hit your head, right? So what's something that we can do to protect our environment, to show our support? So April and her friends cleaned up a parking lot full of trash. But maybe you can do something around your yard. You want to know something I've done to help the earth? During this time, I planted a few flowers in front of my house, and I've been watering them. I also have been mowing our yard, or cutting the grass, some people call it. And I don't mow it super short because I want the grass I don't want to kill the grass. I want it to grow and flourish, and be very productive. In Braxton, if you all remember when we had that cabbage, we gave those little cabbage plants out to you for you to plant. Braxton has been taking care of his. That's taking care of the earth, okay? And so what's something you can do tomorrow to celebrate that? I would love to see you post some pictures, have your parents post some pictures under this video to show us what you're doing for Earth. So you can show the Facebook world how you're contributing to supporting our Earth, because it's very important that we protect this planet that we live on. In the story, April decides to clean up the parking lot before going to May's craze. How do you think she decided this was the right thing to do? When have you felt conflicted about doing the right thing? So April doesn't want a birthday party themed around Earth because that's what she's always had. But when she sees that there's a mess, what has her parents taught her all this time? To care about Earth. And so when she decides to do that, how do you think she decided that was the right thing to do? Her parents had shown her all this time to care about the earth. And so deep down, she had a love for the earth, whether she liked to admit it or not. And so oftentimes, we want to do a certain thing. Maybe we want to go play on the playground with one friend, but we want to leave another friend out. But maybe when we see that other friend that we've left out being sad, and we remember what Miss Metcalf or Miss Penola or Miss Brooks or Miss Whitehead or your parents have said to you about treating others like the way you should be treated, or that you would want to be treated, then you've probably felt conflicted, or you felt kind of a fight within that tells you, hey, that's not the way we should be acting, and we should be including that friend. And so I hope that most of the time when you feel that way, you choose the right path. You do the right thing because you know that's the right thing to do. Okay. April and her parents protected the environment because they care about it. What is something that you do for the environment to protect it? Why is it important for humans to take care of the environment? And we've kind of just discussed that when we discussed how Earth Day is a time for us to show our support for protecting our environment, and how we can do little things. You can pick up the trash. If you see, a lot of you, I remember on the playground, if you saw trash on the playground, several of you would just be a big glob of kiddos walking around grabbing all that trash. That's protecting the earth. That's showing your support. And so even though we might have to be staying at home right now, there are things that you can still do. Did you know, I was reading about this just the other day, that talking positive things, good things, being happy, and talking to plants helps them grow? Isn't that amazing? And so go outside and enjoy this earth and do your part to protect it, because it's important for us all to do that. And so, boys and girls, I'm so glad, again, that we've had this opportunity. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you too will show your support for Earth Day. And I would love to see pictures. I think that would be fantastic. But most of all, stay safe, stay healthy during this time, and I can't wait to see you again. All right, boys and girls, so I forgot to tell you what I did as a third grader. I remember in third grade, we had a teacher who really made a point to make sure we understood the importance of taking care of the earth. And I remember on Earth Day, she took us around the entire school and we got to pick up the trash. If we finished our work in time, we got to pick up all the trash and anything that did not belong on the ground. And she tried to let us do that quite often, but I specifically remember on Earth Day doing that. And she made sure that we were taking care of the plants and the flowers and the trees that were planted nearby the school. And like I said earlier, Braxton has been taking care of his cabbage plant and watering it. And Miss Metcalf has been watering and taking care of her plants that I have planted during this long break we've had. So I hope that you do your part to take care of Earth and that you all stay safe and healthy.